Increase your health insurance cover and do it with optimum premium. That is the topic of my today's talk. We all know that COVID-19 pandemic has brought into focus the need for a significant health insurance covers. The increasing health costs and which are inflating at a rate of more than 12% annually has resulted in recategorizing our health insurance premium from a surplus expense to a necessity expense in our household budgets. New treatments and therapies are costly, and the ability to fund these expenses can often mean the difference between life and death. This has brought into focus the need to rationalize and optimize our insurance premium costs. The various points are raised in the process. We'll take them one by one. What is the ideal sum insured that one must have? Well, there is no clearly defined answer to this question. It depends on a person's age, the city of residence, the number of family members, medical history, one's income, his affordability, and lifestyle. For example, an exclusive room in a city like Baroda can cost anywhere from 3,000 to 12,000 depending upon the facilities, quality and size of the hospital and the kind of care. The corresponding charges for nursing, injections, doctor's visit will vary with the room tariff. In the metros, this can be up to 25% higher. Just to cite an instance, an imported knee replacement implant can cost twice as much as a locally manufactured one. So one has to keep these factors into account while taking the amount of insurance. But broadly, there is a consensus that the ideal health insurance cover that one must have must be at least 50% of his annual income. Next, one would like to know what type of cover that one should have. Well, health insurance can broadly be divided into two types of cover, the compensatory and the beneficiary type. Compensatory, as the name suggests, compensates you for the actual costs subject to policy conditions. It is a reimbursement type of cover which will pay the actual cost when you put up your bills. Beneficiary type pays the sum insured, that is, it pays you a lump sum and it is not linked to the actual treatment costs. It could be less, it could be more, depending upon what sum insured you have bought. It is payable over and above the compensation received towards the actual cost. So generally the beneficiary type of cover, there is a select list of illnesses or diseases or medical conditions which are defined and which are normally severe in nature. They require long-term treatment or they require repetitive medical care. We normally categorize and call them as critical illnesses. Within the compensatory category, there are basically two types. You can again categorize a basic plan and a top-up plan. A basic plan will pay you from the first rupee that you spend. A top-up plan will always have a deductible. That is, deductible is a threshold after which a top-up insurance plan will trigger. Let us say a plan, when you say 10 by 3, it means it will pay you 10 lakhs towards your healthcare costs, but beyond the first 3 lakhs, means till the first 3 lakhs of expenses are not crossed, the top-up policy does not trigger. Now premium rates will keep on increasing as one grows older and also because of inflation in medical care cost. So every time if you were to increase the base cover, it can be very costly. Ultimately, it's a game of probabilities and statistics. So it is a better proposition to take a combination of say 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs of basic cover for a family of 3 to 4 persons and a top-up cover of say 25 lakhs. This will help optimize the premium cost and also offer you the security of a large insurance cover. Now with increasing medical facilities and lifespans are increasing, but so is the incidence of illnesses and disorders and the resultant cost of healthcare. For a fair amount of financial security, one must take a judicious combination of basic cover plus top-up cover plus a critical illness cover. This critical illness cover these days are costly because of the cost of treatments, obviously. But then now they are no longer a luxury, and they are no longer something which one can put on the back burner. If one does not have them, either one cannot go for the treatments, or one ends up diving into his savings, and ultimately you end up losing your financial security. One more point in increasing your cover is how many persons or a combination one should have under one cover. Different companies offer different types of covers, but it again depends on the age of the family members, the income levels, the health conditions, etc. Ideally, a floater cover, both basic and top up, among 3 to 4 family members plus a critical illness cover will offer a fair amount of financial security. Critical illness covers are normally individual covers, they don't come as floater covers. Now, these days, more or less everybody has got some or the other health insurance, smaller or bigger plan. So over a period of time, one should keep on reviewing whether it is sufficient and whether it meets his needs and whether one can afford to upgrade. So the first thing that one should do is check with your existing insurer whether they can offer you an upgrade, or they can upgrade you to another product with better features, higher sum insured. Compare this similar cost with other products from other brands, and then finalize either the upgrade with the existing insurer or switch to another brand. Now, when you switch to another brand, there is a facility called portability. Portability will preserve all your existing, will rather try to preserve your existing benefits which are already there inherent in your plan. It's quite possible you already have this insurance plan with your existing insurer for the last few years. So there would be cumulative bonuses, there would be other benefits which would accrue to you because of your being there for a few years. So there are some portability conditions are there with various insurers. They are different with different insurers, but typically one needs to apply 45 days before the expiry of the existing policy with the new insurer, because the new insurer will evaluate your proposal afresh. You will look into your medical history, your claim history, and if necessary may even ask you to undergo a diagnostics tests. So some time is required before you switch to a new plan. One must look at a few things before but switching to a new plan, whether it has got better features. An example of better features could be whether there is a worldwide emergency assistance in place, whether it covers Ayush expenses, whether organ transplant expenses for both the donor and recipient are also covered, then whether it covers more treatments. For example, these days with modern techniques, it's not only the hospitalization expenses which are covered, there are a lot of day treatment procedures which are also covered under the health insurance plan. So every insurer has a list of such daycare treatments. So we should look at whether the daycare procedures covered with the new insurer are longer, the list is bigger. Then whether there is a wider coverage, that is wider coverage means for more family members, like say parents are also can be covered within the same plan, whether parents-in-laws can be covered, more illnesses are covered, more age groups within the same premium can be covered, or whether there are more free health checkups available, frequent health checkups available, whether there is an OPD coverage, and so on. Then one must look at what are the bonuses for not claiming, whether there are any discounts available for keeping healthy, whether there are any sublimits or no sublimits at all. then whether there is a lifelong renewal policy in place, and last but not the least, whether what is their claims track record, whether the claims process is customer friendly and simple. One must basically avoid plans which have got sublimits on room rents, whether they want co-payments for certain diseases or some lesser diseases, whether the definition of illnesses are restrictive in nature. Just to give an example, under the head of heart ailments, there can be a number of sub definitions, and there are certain plans of critical illnesses which will exclude certain heart conditions under the broad definition of heart diseases. So one must look at those fine prints, whether the definitions are restrictive and they don't put you to a disadvantage. Then one must look at whether they have a larger list of network hospitals. Network hospitals are those one which the insurers have a tie-up for cashless payments. Then whether there are domiciliary hospitalization limits are there within the plan. So one must avoid plans which don't have these features, which don't incentivize you for claim-free years. They don't incentivize you for wellness. Just to give you on the point of wellness, there is one insurance company which will give you discounts on renewal for keeping healthy in terms of measured by the number of steps that you walk every day. So here's wishing you a good health, and thank you.